Good morning, good morning, good morning, the wonderful world of YouTube. It is my pleasure to be joining you guys on this beautiful Saturday morning here in Dallas, Texas. Uh, you're joining me today for a bi-monthly live stream event, scheduled event. As you guys know, I host a bi-monthly live stream for my members only content. But prior to getting into the members only section of my presentation today, I offer some Q&A just to the general public, just to get you guys, I guess, a little bit more interested in the content that I have to offer related to government contracting with the world's largest customer, the Defense Logistics Agency, as well as you guys get a snapshot of who I am and what my channel is all about, and basically get to know you a little bit as well. So in order for you guys who may be new to my content, new to the DLA, and you're just on the, I guess, the perimeter or in the stands, and you're interested in seeing if you should get on the field in order to get into this government contracting space for product supplies, for distributing products, not necessarily services, but products to the DLA, well, in support of the warfighter, that is the Department of Defense by way of the DLA. And today is a great day for you to join in the discussion. And the best way to join in the discussion, you'll have to be a subscriber to the channel, one, in order to drop a comment in the comment section, whether it may be any type of question that you may have related to just GovCon in general, or just very general questions. I'm here at your disposal today for at least the next 30 minutes or so. And a lot of my presentation that I have for you guys today and the Q&A session will have a lot to do with the questions that are in the chat there too. So the more you guys give, the more I can receive, the more I can give back to you as well. Okay, great. So let's see. I was just kind of getting us warmed up here, just waiting on some viewers to get into the building. Looks like we have 3 concurrent viewers in the building. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Welcome to the presentation this morning. Round of applause for you who are viewers out there just trying to see what the DLA guru is cooking. And it looks like we got James in the building. Good day to you as well, James. Here, let me throw that up on the screen because that's pretty cool. Looks like you got 2 traceability requests this week. Things are moving forward. Hey, James, that is fantastic. Congratulations. You know what? Let me give you another round of applause, my friend, because that means that you are really understanding what this game and or I should say the process of being able to find opportunities, bid the opportunity successfully, because traceability is a very important step in the procurement process with the DLA, because as we all know, once you get a traceability request via email from a contracting officer, that means that they're getting ready to award you a contract, and they just want to make sure that you are providing the DLA the exact match, the national stock number, the same form, fit, and function. And they just want to make sure that there are no counterfeit parts getting into the DLA supply chain. And as long as you have all your eggs in the basket, all your T's crossed and your I's dotted, you should be well on your way, James, to achieving at least 2 awards. And so fantastic. Things are moving forward. Great comment, and congratulations to you. All right, keep up the good work, man. Keep rocking and rolling. I can't wait till you get your first contract, and hopefully we'll be able to talk shop a little bit about the contract, and just to assist you on your way to making sure that you're able to deliver and perform the contract and not run into any issues with your customer there. So fantastic. All right, great. We got 4 concurrent viewers in the building. We got 1 like. Hey guys, send me a couple of likes. I like to have a parity to views to likes, because that kind of gets the algorithm kind of baking there, and it'll get my message out, and maybe even this announcement out as far as my live stream to more viewers. It opens it up to a broader audience, and YouTube kind of likes the engagement that you guys are giving. So fantastic. Looks like James put another comment. Black Box and StarTech, basically doing electronics products. Okay, fantastic, man. I'm not even familiar with those brands, man. Like, again, the DLA, they manage a database of over 6 million national stock numbers. So there are opportunities galore as it relates to the DLA and how they're servicing the warfighter. Whenever the U.S. military has a requirement or a need, the DLA is the go-to source for those products. So you just never know what may be on dibs, or like what the DLA may be looking for on a day in and day out basis. But the way that you make sure you can capitalize on that is understanding, getting the information, getting positioning, getting plugged in, getting the training, getting the know-how, so that when those opportunities present themselves, you as a DLA vendor can enter into the marketplace and assist the DLA with procuring those products and those products that the warfighter desperately needs. So fantastic there. All right, we got Dammy in the building. I spoke to Dammy yesterday. He and I had a 15-minute call, and I got a chance to get to know Dammy here. Let me put your comment on the screen there. Let's go. And it was a pleasure speaking with you as well yesterday, Dammy. I learned a lot about you and kind of where you are in your business, and getting back involved with government contracting. And then it's great that to see you in the building. Continue to support me. I continue to support you, and I want to make sure that anyone that's kind of in my field of view, I am here to make sure you guys win, because it makes me feel so fantastic to see you guys win. But anyway, okay, I'm just waiting for a few more viewers to get in here, because I got a great presentation for you guys today. And again, I got 30 minutes or so just in this public space here, and then we'll be moving it over to the members only content. So I always like to see if I get any of my brigadier generals in the building. So if you guys are entering into the building, make sure you drop me a comment in the chat to let me know that you are in the building, because whenever I get at least 3 brigadier generals in the building, that's a great signal that it's time to switch over to my members only content, because I love to have a quorum of folks. I think you just get more bang for the buck as it relates to the 2 hours of one-on-one, or I should say, where you can cam up and mic up, and you can work directly with me via this YouTube stream to answer any questions that you have related to the DLA, whether it be solicitations, national stock numbers, contracts you're working on, vendors, any issues that you may have, as well as also being a support system with other DLA vendors who are new to the DLA, or maybe even seasoned, where you guys can also have a great opportunity to network and to share notes, and you never know, partnerships abound. So I'm looking forward to some of my brigadier generals to hit the building. So if you guys are out there in the space, because it looks like we have 6 concurrent viewers, just be sure that you just send me a little chat to let me know you're there. All right, we got Firebird Optics in the building too. Let me put this on the screen here. He says, hey, DLA Guru, if we got a late delivery penalty in SPARS in an FSC code and get a color red code, how can we get another shot? Yeah, that's a great question. Allowed, well, I shouldn't say the DLA. There was an office that kind of managed the SPARs that I had access to. There was one gentleman that handled all the SPAR, like any type of analysis, or if you had to, do an appeal, and you said, hey, the DLA made a mistake, it wasn't us, can you just do an appeal to that rating there. But if you in fact had a late delivery, don't cry over spilled milk. The way the DLA works is, okay, you'll get a slap on the wrist. It's not like you'll be banned from that FAC code any longer, so continue to bid it, making sure that you network with those contracting officers. As a matter of fact, the contract that you did win, where you delivered and you had a late delivery, what I would recommend you do is circle back to the contracting officer, just to kind of put it out there that, hey, we're new to the DLA, and we're still post-pandemic, and we're still running into some supply chain issues. The DLA is very aware that the United States government, we're still trying to, or just the United States, I should say, we're still kind of getting back on the horse as it relates to industry. So I imagine that there should be a little empathy that they will have for you, even though the system is what it is. If you give a date to the delivery and you miss that date, it's going to hit you. But just making sure you're cultivating that relationship, and hopefully that shouldn't lock you out from that in the future. So yeah, continue to bid the FAC code. Don't think that you've lost that opportunity forever. And keep in mind too, just like credit scores, just like your personal credit score or business credit score, there is a time frame where those negative ratings will drop off. Some commands hold you, I guess, hold that score. I've heard upwards of 90 days. Sometimes it can go as long as a year. It all depends the command, it depends the contract officer, and it depends the criticality of the part and how soon the warfighter needs it and how many other vendor sources are available for it. So my rule of thumb is always deliver on the expectations that you set with the DLA. But just know that this is kind of a dynamic world, and I mean we're human, and so that we make mistakes. But you always want to make sure that you're bidding those contracts and putting the deliveries with enough cushion, factor of safety on it, such that if things go wrong with your vendors or your manufacturers, that you can account for that. So don't be afraid to have longer lead times on your quotes that you put out to the DLA. There could be a fine line where it could hurt you because they could go with another vendor that can get it sooner. But you have to kind of take it on a case by case basis. Our rule of thumb with our company is I always like to I like to overpromise, well, that's not the best way of saying that, but basically, if I know that I can deliver in 30 days, I put more time on that, and I typically will double it and say it's 60 days just to give myself a little bit more cushion. And then I deliver in 30 days. And that, I think also is a benefit as well. Where we over deliver for what the DLA is expecting. So anyway, hopefully that's a little bit long-winded question answer to that question. But before diving into some of those other questions that are coming in, because I see James is firing off a lot of questions, I want to go ahead and get into my presentation because that's why you guys are here. If you notice, the title today is Dropshipper Source for AbilityOne Products. And it's interesting that in this DLA arena, and if you guys notice some of my most recent videos, I'm talking a lot about Amazon sellers and drop shippers alike. That that's that whole commercial market. And James, you can probably attest to this. Just being a previous drop shipper with Amazon and those types of marketplaces, that there is a great opportunity to kind of take some of that skill set and it's transferable into the DLA world. Even though, we're working with government contracting, we're working with, federal acquisition regulations and the US military, there's still a skill set that you have as a drop shipper. So, like the drop shipper hat that does apply to the DLA, because a lot of times you're dealing with products that may be where they're too heavy for you to actually maneuver them. So you have to set up relationships with your vendor base where you can, in essence, train them on how to do the packaging and the labeling and have these products, with some certainty be drop shipped to designated DLA depots, just understanding that the onus and the responsibility, the accountability falls on you as the prime vendor. So it's all a matter of how you're able to train and establish those relationships with your vendors in order to set up a more robust dropship model. You will have vendors that say, no, we don't deal with military specifications and labeling. You have to handle that. So you have to take it on a case-by-case basis, but there is teaming opportunities as it relates to being a GovCon drop shipper in the DLA space. And so my presentation today is going to kind of talk a little bit about an agency or a commission within the DLA called the AbilityOne. And so that's kind of what the title is. That's a little bit of an anchor there. So let's go ahead and dive into the presentation. Let me pull up my slide on the screen there. So for those of you who are new to my channel, because I know I have 10 concurrent viewers, I got 4 likes. Hey, throw me some likes if you like what the DLA guru is cooking. I love to see parity to my likes. To my viewers, and that always just makes me feel nice, warm, and fuzzy inside that you guys are really loving some of the effort that I'm putting out here to educate you and to empower you and inspire you guys for success with the world's largest customer DLA. So who am I? My name is Kiwi Hendricks. I am the U.S. government sales manager with the National Material Supply Company. We have been servicing the U.S. federal government by way of contracting vehicles for the past 20 years. And our biggest claim to fame is supporting the Defense Logistics Agency, the DLA. So I have coined the name the DLA Guru. Why? Because I have been in this space for 20 years and I have bumped my head and skipped my knee enough to know what not to do. And so now I'm in the perfect position to kind of shed some of the light, give some of those nuggets of information to you guys to help empower your companies in support of the DLA. And welcome to my channel. That's what this is all about. I am 100% all about the DLA, hence the DLA Guru. So for those of you who are new to the content and who have not hit the subscribe button, in order to throw a message down in the comments today, in the chat today, you'll need to be a subscriber to the channel. So feel free to click that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything and it means a ton to me. And be sure that you hit the like button. As I keep saying, looks like I got some more likes kind of coming in there. It's great. And please, by all means, share this video feed, especially if you're on your mobile phone. Just click the little share button, send it to a couple of loved ones, friends, and family members, other people who you think may be aspiring business folks that are looking for a great opportunity. Because I think getting involved with government contracting, I call it the low-hanging fruit with the DLA, is a great entrance into the government contracting space. And don't forget to hit the notification bell. The notification bell is there to make sure you guys get the notifications on your phone whenever I drop great relevant content to the GovCon space and the DLA, because you don't want to be a day late and a dollar short. So having access to the content when it's fresh off the presses will only benefit you in your journey of being a viable DLA vendor. So my live stream agenda today, as you guys know, this year, since January, I've been talking about this new vision of my fiscal 2024 goals of supporting 100 new businesses with DLA contracts. And I'm calling it the 100 Business Dream Team. And basically, my plan, my vision is to have 100 new businesses by way of my training programs, by way of all the different ways that you can have access to me, whether it be through contracted consultations, joining my LinkedIn group, joining my members only channel, purchasing and investing in the MasterClasses in order to get all the nuggets and information that I have between my ears, the 20 years of my experiences of doing business with the DLA, and for me to be a viable coach and mentor to helping your businesses along the way. And those 100 new businesses this year, my plan is to really get into the weeds and understand exactly what your capability is, what type of set aside distinctions your company may offer, what type of industries that you're going after, what type of commands that your companies can support. That way I can bring together kind of a Rolodex of these viable companies that are small businesses, all in an ecosystem where we're sharing information and maybe even partnering and joint venturing, going after larger contracting opportunities with the DLA. Because a lot of times, you're running to ceilings where you may not have enough, credit or lines of credit or access to capital in order to go after bigger contracts. But hey, my motto with my team internally is, you divide the task, because all teamwork is you divide the task to multiply the success. And so those 100 new businesses are exactly what I'm looking for in this pipeline this year. And right now I have about 5 businesses that we've been talking to. Dammy, I know you're out there. We talked yesterday and you mentioned that you were very interested in being a part of that. So I'm looking forward for you to step up and kind of get more involved and get all the tools that you'll need, because we don't need folks that need tutoring. We need folks that are part of the pack and have the information and are ready to rock and roll. So when the opportunity comes your way, there won't be hand holding. You guys will be professional distributors, professional DLA vendors, and you'll be able to act on opportunities when they present themselves. So that's what my goal is for this year. My fiscal year 2024 goals, the pack, 100 new businesses. All right, now, what does it mean? AbilityOne program. Not sure if you guys have ever heard of AbilityOne. For those of you who have or have not heard of AbilityOne, can you put a fire emoji in the chat if you've heard of AbilityOne? That way I kind of get an idea, because I got 11 concurrent viewers in the building here, and that'll give me an idea of if you guys have even heard of AbilityOne, to know how much information I should be really, oozing out of here for those of you. I don't want to, basically be speaking to the choir, but my presentation has a lot to do with AbilityOne, and you'll see as we go through this presentation why I think today training will benefit you to learn more about AbilityOne. All right, I don't have any fire emojis in the chat, so that means you guys have never even heard of AbilityOne. So fantastic. All right, so emerging GovCon dropshipping opportunities are abound. And what I mean by that, SAM.gov, on the services side of it, there may be services and products related to some of those federal contracts that you may be pursuing if you're focused on services, service-based federal contracts, as well as on the DLA side for product-based contracts. When I mentioned that drop shipping opportunities are abound, that means that there are products that need to get from point A to point B, and you can be the conduit, the vendor, the distributor, the manufacturer's rep. Some call it the middleman strategy, in order to assist with that supply chain with those supply chain processes. And one particular agency that is by federal law required to be a part of the supply chain is the AbilityOne Commission. And the AbilityOne Commission is an independent federal agency that basically supports folks that are the blind and people who have handicaps and visually impaired blind folks, things like that, that give them opportunities for employment. So the federal government in partnership with the AbilityOne program, they basically hire folks that are handicapped individuals who have skill sets in order to build products that the federal government requires. And those products fall from office supplies that you will find, like, for example, if you kind of think about Post-it notes, you go into Office Depot and you're buying the 3M branded Post-it notes. Guess what? AbilityOne, through the National Industries for the Blind, they actually manufacture their own version of Post-it notes, which by federal law, federal agencies are required to purchase the AbilityOne brand, as opposed to the commercial or the commercial brand, right? And so there are over 4,000 products. Again, we're talking janitorial, Jan products. We're talking office supplies. We're talking mattresses. We're talking bedding. We're talking spoons, forks, utensils. I mean, there is just a wide array of products that that can be sourced through the AbilityOne program that they are attuned or aligned to federal contracts, whether these federal agencies, whether it be the Department of Defense or the National Forestry Service, whether it be the Social Security Office, whether it be the HUD office. I mean, you name it, any federal agency that's out here has a mandate to purchase AbilityOne products. All right. And let me tell you, I want to shift it a little bit and tell you just how big the AbilityOne program has been. They've been around for about over 50 years. And they're basically a nonprofit agency that has done a lot of position within federal contracting, where there's a mandate by the federal government to spend money with the AbilityOne program. And that annual spend is roughly about $4 billion a year, right? And I was recently reading an article, and I ran across this, so I'm just bringing this up on screen, where the DLA, so the contracting group, the DLA, they issued on February 20th, which was not too many days ago, about 4 days ago, a $46.6 million contract for innerspring mattresses. All right. So if you can think of all the military barracks around the world, soldiers need some place to sleep. Guess what? National Industries of the Blind, Source America, those agencies working together employ visually impaired folks and handicapped people in order to build these products that the DLA is mandated to purchase. And when you see these two asterisks right here, and hopefully that's big enough on your screen, that means that this is a mandatory source. So there was no competition. So the DLA by law had to buy these innerspring mattresses to support the warfighter. All right. So this is just the DLA. $46 million contract. And if I read this, it says this is a 2-year contract with no option periods. Location of performance is North Carolina, with a February 19th, 2026 ordering period end date. U.S. military service is the Navy. So this is actually this is just the Navy. This is not even the Army, Air Force, or the Marines. This is just the Navy buying $46 million worth of mattresses over the next 2 years through the AbilityOne program. Now, what does this mean, and why am I bringing this to your attention? The reason why is here's the AbilityOne's program website, I should say. And by the way, I put the links to these web pages in the description of this video feed for you guys to take a look at it. But what's so cool about this website is, one, I urge you to take a look at it, because the AbilityOne Commission, this gives you a lot more information about who the AbilityOne is. And they even have, there's a lot of information here. So today's presentation is more or less to scratch the surface, just to get you guys abreast to it. But when I was looking at this the other day, I scrolled down and I said, wow, this is a great link. And this link at the bottom, let me zoom in on that for you, so make sure you can read it for those of you in the back. Contractors, how to purchase AbilityOne products required by a federal contract. So this is interesting. By clicking this link, then I'm diving into here. And just, again, I urge you guys to take some time to take a look at this, because if you're pursuing contracts on SAM.gov, this is going to be paramount for you, because the AbilityOne Commission is putting a little bit more pressure, or I should say a lot more pressure, on federal contracting agencies outside of the DLA to say that, hey, we need to make sure that if there's a particular product that's required in the performance of that contract, whether it be service-based or not. For example, imagine having a janitorial services contract where there's a AbilityOne mandate, because AbilityOne makes pine sol. These guys make pine sol. And so they say, hey, look, if you guys are going to be doing any kind of cleaning in these federal buildings, you have to purchase this branded type of product by the AbilityOne program in order to support that. So these will be mandated requirements that are going to be, and I think it's called in this first sentence here, federal contracts that have incorporated FAR Clause 52.208.9. Contractor use of mandatory sources of supply or services require use of AbilityOne products in performance of contract. All right. So this is really so cool, because now if you're pursuing these contracts and then having access to those products at a fair price, at a reasonable price, at a reasonable wholesale price, is really where you as a vendor are going to want to position yourself. There's more to this. Trust me, there's more to this. I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of the power of the AbilityOne. And keep in mind, the U.S. federal government spends about $4 billion a year buying AbilityOne products, not necessarily directly through AbilityOne, but through the distributors of the AbilityOne program. And guess what? There are about 276 or 77 authorized distributors of the AbilityOne program. Guess what, guys? My company, National Supply Company, we're one of those distributors. All right. So if you're interested in learning more about AbilityOne, or if you have contracts where you're needing some AbilityOne products, be sure that you reach out to me. As you can see there, my email address is fed.contract@nmsupply.com. Reach out to me and let's have a dialogue about the contracts that you're going after and how I may be able to support you and your company and helping to give you a competitive advantage of going after some of those contracts utilizing AbilityOne products. Also in my presentation, I talked a little bit about Source America. You may, guys, hear about Source America. Source America is also in partnership with AbilityOne. They don't focus namely on people who are visually impaired, but they're more of like people who are severely disabled. And they find ways to giving job opportunities for these particular Americans in order to make sure they're part of the workforce as well. All right. So once you guys know a little bit about those guys, these links are again in the description. And last but not least, I wanted to show you a little bit about the AbilityOne Commission's fiscal year 2023. This is a PDF that they released. I got it off the AbilityOne website, but I wanted to kind of scroll down, and it tells you a little bit more about the AbilityOne program. It tells you, how many folks that they employ. 36,000 people who are blind and have significant disabilities are employed in jobs, and they furnish nearly about $4 billion annually in products and services to the federal government. So, I mean, these guys are doing their thing and they're supporting Americans across the board. And I think it's really important to understand and get involved with supporting the AbilityOne program, because it's almost like our duty as Americans to make sure that the economy is firing. And guess what? There's a lot of profit that's available for you guys to support your federal contracts utilizing the AbilityOne program products. Again, there are over 4,000 products that they make, and each product, guess what? Get ready. They are linked to a national stock number. So that's why the DLA, AbilityOne, and vendors are kind of in bed together, because each AbilityOne product that's manufactured by the AbilityOne program and the National Industries of Wine and SkilCraft, by the way, is our tools and things like that. You'll learn all this as we continue to go down our dialogue together, that they're all linked back to a national stock number. All right. So for those of you who are DLA vendors, you understand the national stock numbers are a big deal. Here, let me go ahead and cycle to page 11. And I thought this was a pretty cool chart, because it shows some fiscal year 22 data, as well as 2020 fiscal year 2023 data is kind of sprinkled in here. But again, as a very high level snapshot, AbilityOne employees 36,000. AbilityOne has paid roughly $666 million in wages within that particular fiscal year. And I mean, I'm not going to read through each line item here, but you can kind of see. But what I really cared about was, again, just kind of fact checking some of the numbers. Sales of products and services to federal customers is $3.9 billion. And they sell these not only direct through AbilityOne, National Institute of Blind, but through authorized distributors. All right. So back to my presentation. You're wondering, okay, well, hey, DLA Guru, how do you find out and learn more about the products that you're talking about? Guess what? If you go over to our website, it's one of our partner websites, hecdistribution.com, www.hecdistribution.com. And I also make sure I put that in the chat as well. I dropped it in the chat right now. www.hecdistribution.com. Just put it in the chat. This is a great website to go to, because if you run across a contract with the federal government where they're calling out for AbilityOne products, and they actually call out a particular national stock number that's required to, facilitate that contract, guess what? You can log on to hecdistribution.com, drop in the NSN in the search field, and you will be able to find that product. And it, depending on if you want to buy it in bulk, in volume, I mean, it'll show some published prices, retail prices on those items, but be sure that you do a request for quote. If you want to buy more than just one jug and you're buying, a case or things like that of the product, you're able to get some volume discounts as well, because they will provide you with quotes on items that you're looking to buy in bulk. But if you're just looking to buy one or two or whatever, you're probably going to have to buy it at the price that's listed on the actual website. But again, when you're talking federal contracting, as you guys well know, federal agencies, they're buying in bulk. All right. So I just want to give you guys a great source, give you a little information, a little education about ways that you can get authorized and let's say sought out, in demand type products that will support you in your federal contracting endeavors as you grow your business in this space. Okay, cool. So I am 33 minutes into it. Looks like we have 8 viewers in the building, 7 likes. Yes. All right. And I didn't get any fire emojis. So hopefully, that's some new information for you guys as it relates to AbilityOne. Let me scroll back a little bit and look at some of the questions that we have in here, because we got a few minutes to kind of field some questions. Let's see. Let me throw this up on the screen here. We got James, and let me go over here. Wrong button. I want to make sure I can read James's question, because I'm having a hard time reading it there. 1 second. Let me bring that over. Okay, cool. I can read it now. It says, I have a question about a bid. I was bidding on a fast action award SDVBOSB set aside. The bidding ended on February 20th. I get an email that night that they extended the solicitation date to 2/23. Yeah. So, okay, that's the first part of it. Let me see. I guess it's the second part. None of the quotes received by the solicitation were okay. Great. All right. Yes. All right. Great. And then James asked the other question to build, and we invite you to revise your quote. If you have any offer at your best possible price, you don't need to resubmit. And then James also says, I think I may be the only bidder. I dropped my bid a bit to see if it will be awarded. Have you seen this happen before? Yes, James, I have seen it happen. It's very often that email you get, I think it says BSM or something like that is in that email. And yeah, from time to time, the DLA is trying to negotiate, man. They want to try to get the best price that they can. Those automated systems, keep this in mind, there is a threshold, I guess, fair market value that we all don't know, but it's in the DLA's algorithm of what they consider a fair market price for a particular item based off of past procurement history or any other information that the contract officer may have on that particular material in question. So that's loaded, that's preloaded into the system, right? Associated with that NSN. So we got these solicitations that go out, prices are coming in, and the system, the algorithm is looking at it and saying, okay, cool. Yeah, these prices are higher or lower than what we think they need to be. Typically, it's going to be higher. And so you'll get this automated email that comes back to you that says, "Hey, look, we're trying to build up a little bit more traffic on this particular product. So we're going to not award it. We're going to extend it to allow more offers to come in because we want to make sure we're going to have, we're awarded to the best, best price, best availability type of thing." So your strategy, James, it's a great strategy. Yeah, just to lower your price a little bit, to kind of give a little bit, it's a little bit, give a little bit, you take a little bit, give a little bit, take a little bit. And so by lowering your price, yeah, you in essence could be supporting the cause that the DOA is saying, okay, cool, prices have come down a little bit, let's go ahead and award it. So yeah, great strategy there. There have been situations where we put our best price out. We typically try to bid our best price. And so at that time, you could just ignore that email and say, hey, you guys got my best price. It's up to you to award it. So it has a lot to do on a case by case basis on that particular product. If you did bid it with a little bit more margin and you just wanted to get a little greedy with it, and then you have an opportunity to pull back a little bit, and it's up to you, man, of how you're pursuing it. So yeah, I think the way you did that is a great idea. Hopefully that answered your question, James. Thanks for the comment. That's an awesome comment there. Okay, do we have any brigadier generals in the building? I don't see any brigadier generals in the building as of yet. If you are in the building, let me know that you're in the building. Say, hey, Kiwi, I'm in the building. Just let me know that you're there, and we can switch over to our members only content. And I know I should have some folks in the Patreon space as well. Here, let me go over to Patreon and see if anyone's in the Patreon window as well. Not that I want to leave you guys, but I'm here. I'm working today. I got some information to deliver. So if you got anyone in the Patreon community, drop me a message in the chat for this particular live stream that's out there. Here, let me go here 1 second. And then I got a couple more questions in here that I'm going to answer as well. I just want to make sure that I'm not overstaying my welcome in the public forum and waiting on some of my Patreon folks and my brigadier generals to enter the building. We got to enter the building, guys. Yeah, I'm here to, let's see here. Going in here. Okay. All right, cool. So yeah, any of my Patreon members, feel free to drop a message in the chat in the community forum. I prefer you guys to be in the community forum. That way I can see your messages real life and in the community forum there, because it's kind of difficult to navigate between YouTube and Patreon for me. So yeah, be sure that you're looking at the community in the community chat there, guys, and that'll really help me out tremendously. See direct messages. Yeah, send me a direct message. Yeah, that's how we'll do it. Send me a direct message whenever you guys get over into the Patreon area, and then we'll kind of talk shop from there. Okay, cool. So still waiting on some brigadier generals to come into the building and some Patreon folks to come into the building. So make sure you send me a direct message again when you're over there. I hope I'm looking at this right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay, good. All right. So I am back. Let's see. Let's fill a few more questions here. As a matter of fact, for those of you who are at the brigadier general level as well as Patreon level, there should be the link to our StreamYard members only StreamYard that you can go ahead and go into the chat, of the community forum on Patreon, click the link, and that'll bring you right into my Patreon. I mean, right into my StreamYard, and that way I'll know that you guys are in the building. So yeah, feel free to come on over and join me over here, as well as any brigadier generals that come into the building. You can go into the YouTube side of the community forum, and I also have the StreamYard link that's posted there for you for your use as well. All right, and if you guys are not hearing me, I'll say it again as I see more traffic kind of coming in there. All right, cool. So what's the next question we have here? Let's see here. We got box office. How can we use the part numbers and dibs to find third-party vendors who may have the exact same part? That's a great question, box office. And the I guess the short answer to that is third-party software. Yeah. And so as you probably have seen in some of my videos on my channel, I'm not sure, box office, if you're new to my content or not, but we promote a third-party software by the name of SEI Global. They were recently purchased by another company by the name of Intertech, but they're all the same company. And you'll learn firsthand, box office, on how we utilize this software to do exactly what you're suggesting in your comment by way of my training programs that are in place. And I talk about them in all my videos, and we talk about my pre-award masterclass, my post-award masterclass, and my JCP certification masterclass. That's going to basically help to cover the exact question you ask in order for you to source alternate products and to build your vendor base by way of training. So you won't find a lot of that content for free in the public space here. You'll have to kind of invest in your company and invest in the information in order to empower your company for success with that. So hopefully that answers your question. And thank you for your comment, box office. Let's see here. Let's see, and pop this up here too. James, do you know where we can get a list of AbilityOne national stock numbers? Yeah, I think I just answered that question, and you probably put this question before I said what I said there, James. But yes, of course, you can go to hecdistribution.com. As a matter of fact, guys, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give you a test drive of what that looks like with hecdistribution.com. Here, we'll go right to the website. That'll make it even more easy. So we'll go here, hecdistribution.com. And when you're, I think I put the wrong, I still big fingers, www.hecdistribution.com. Okay. So when you log into the website there, what you want to do is just put in, you can say National Industries for the Blind. As a matter of fact, type that in there. I believe that should give you some search results, and you'll see that there are just a ton of products that we have in there. It says there are 2,136 results that come back with the National Industries of the Blind name in there. But like, if there's any national stock number that you may have, and this, I think some of these may have pictures and some may not, because the National Industry of the Blind doesn't provide pictures for every product that they have. So sometimes we have to use placeholders that go in here. And yeah, these are all here. Let me see. I know there should be some with some pictures on them. Let's see here. Type NIB. I think you type NIB as well, maybe. Yeah, that comes back. All right, yeah, that's not giving you a lot of search results there. And I don't have. Here we are. All right, great. So I was going to say, I don't have off the top of my head products that have images or whatnot in them, but so here's some products that are also made by National Industries of the Blind. And actually, no, yeah, no. This isn't AbilityOne. This is another product here. So let me go back to my National Industries of the Blind, give you a better example of what I'm talking about, guys. Okay, so going in here. So for example, let's just go into this product here, because I was trying to find one that had an actual picture of the product, but you'll see here, this is the national stock number. So literally, you can just search for the NSN with or without the dashes, and you'll see here. Let me zoom in, and you'll see kind of the results come back and kind of tell you, what this product is. A lot of times the federal government was going to call out by the NSN. Very rarely will they even give part number. They'll just call it the NSN. And that's how you're able to kind of source those products as well. James. So hopefully that answers your question there. Let's see. Where else do we have some more questions here? Dammy. Okay. And then James, they're up this here. He says, I bid 5 times the previous award winner as an experiment since it was a SDVSB. Let's see what happens next week. Okay, cool. All right, James. Yeah, man. I mean, a lot of it is about, putting in your best price, your best availability, making sure that you're able to lock down your vendors, establishing those relationships with your vendors, man, because everything that we do in the DLA space is about vendor development, so fantastic that you're doing some experimenting, taking some receipts, getting some data, building up your kind of your strategy and staying true to your strategy and don't get too knocked off. I think, James, when I first met you, you said, hey, you wanted to just be hell bent on SDBLSB set asides and you want to just focus all your energy on that so that you can maximize your vet status. And I think that's a fantastic strategy, just kind of having a very myopic view on one area of the DLA, get some success there, and then begin to kind of expand it and grow it out from there. So kudos to you, James, for that strategy. And last but not least, here we got Box Office says, thanks for answering my question. I've been following you since last year. Well, hey, fantastic, man. Thanks for the follow. As you know, I always try to deliver as much content as I can, related content as I can, in order to empower and inspire you. So, man, thank you again for staying with me and staying. And hey, you know what? If you get to a point where you're ready to, really get really, really, truly serious about the DLA, hey, man, you know where to find me. You know about all my training programs I have in place. I don't think I've had one student that has taken any of my master classes and has not won a DLA contract. So I've designed the content and the training programs in order to definitely provide, direct benefit to a sales trajectory in the upward direction for those of you who take the plunge. All right, so looking forward to meeting you in person, hopefully, or meeting you virtually one day, Box Office. So thanks again for that comment. Yeah, none of my brigadier generals are in the building today. That's interesting. I guess everyone's out the park and going fishing because it smells like spring is in the air. All right, I want to make sure that folks over in, because I know I had a new student client who joined Patreon, and I thought maybe I would have seen them today. I think the guy's name was Jesus, and I don't know if he's here today or not. But Jesus, if you're out there in the Patreon world and you can hear me, I have put the link to the StreamYard that's in the community forum over on Patreon. So you can just click that link, and that's going to take you over into my StreamYard waiting area, because I'm in StreamYard right now and I don't have anybody that has joined me in StreamYard. And for those of you who might be interested in talking deep dive, I put the link to join me over at the brigadier general level in the chat. It's pinned in the chat today on the YouTube side. Feel free to click that link and join me as a as a paid member at the brigadier general level, and you'll then be able to click on the StreamYard link that I have in the community forum post, and that'll bring you over to the into the StreamYard today, and we can talk shop for the next 2 hours. Anything that you have related to DLA solicitations, national stock numbers, my methodologies, doing a deep dive. You'll have me for 2 hours today. So feel free to upgrade your membership to that level, and I can see you guys on StreamYard today. So I'm here. Keep in mind, I'm only doing this bi-monthly, so it's just 4 hours a month, and this is a great time. It fits my schedule nicely, and hopefully it fits in your schedule nicely, so you can get some learning today. And let's see, do I have your Patreon? No one in Patreon yet. At least I don't see any announcements coming in there. Okay, cool. And let's see, I got another message that just came in from James. Are you going to do more student interviews like you posted last week? Hey, James, believe it or not, man, I have a ton of student clients who have taken my master classes and have actually won contracts. And, I got tons of videos, man, that I haven't posted on YouTube. And, part of it is that, it's almost like it's like the same not the same information, but it's almost like it takes a toll on me, man, to build those videos. And I just don't have a whole lot of time to kind of do all those testimonials or whatnot. But man, believe you me, I have a ton of testimonials of people who have taken the master classes and found success in winning contracts with DLA through my training programs. But as time comes on, as time goes on, and when I have time to kind of pull together content that I think will definitely empower and inspire folks, I'll definitely pull it out there. I did see your comment on the last testimonial that I posted where you said that you really enjoyed that video. So thank you for that comment. Thank you for the engagement, James. Yeah. So, I mean, I got over 100 videos in my catalog, man. A lot of it is just kind of like, hey, who the DLA is. But if you really want to get into the nitty gritty and, the methodologies and the training and all that good stuff, yeah, it's really about those, one-on-one deep dives with me. Okay, we got Jimmy La Rota, new member. Hey, welcome, Jimmy. You came in at the commander level, and congratulations for joining us at the commander level. Jimmy, at the commander level, you're going to have access to some. It's a closed video vault, and it's again, when you saw that, it's a closed video vault of content that we recorded via our members only live streams last year. But as of January 1st of 2024, you'll need to be at the brigadier general level in order to have access to me in the members only forum via my bi-monthly live streams to talk anything and everything DLA related. But thank you again for joining as a member. You'll have a lot of content, a lot of videos to kind of take a look at and just to kind of whet your palate. But in order to, again, talk to me directly versus DLA solicitations, contracts that you're working on, you'll have to upgrade to the brigadier general level. So I may be able to see you in one of those live streams in the future as well. But hey, Jimmy, drop a comment in the comment there section. Let us know your city and state where you're located, because this may be a great opportunity for you to network with some of the folks that are in the building right now. Looks like we have 8 no, how many viewers? We have 6 concurrent viewers here and 8 likes. Awesome. So we got people kind of coming in and coming out. Of course, you'll be able to see some of this this video comment, this video in the replay that I'll post later as well. Any questions you guys got on what I've delivered today as far as the AbilityOne program, my experience being an AbilityOne vendor? By the way, my company, we were awarded an AbilityOne license back in July of 2022. So I am probably one of the youngest companies to be a part of the AbilityOne program through the AbilityOne Commission. And we've kind of hit the ground running and doing some great things, working directly with federal agencies. I haven't done a whole lot of business with vendors. That is, prime contractors who are buying AbilityOne products and supporter contracts. We do get some orders that come in that trickle in, but the lion's share of the business that we've been doing has been working directly with federal agencies directly, like the Navy or the military agencies. I think we've had some orders come in through the Social Security Office, Homeland Security. They buy items from us. And I think we've had a couple of Department of Justice contracts that have come in as well for AbilityOne products. But I know there's this huge market of government vendors or distributors out there that are going to need access to AbilityOne products because of the FAR clause, which I have highlighted on the screen. FAR clause 52.208-9, and it's federal law. These agencies are going to be starting to crack down more on making sure that AbilityOne is going to be part of those federal service contracts going forward. Cool. So Jimmy, are you going to let us know that you're in the building? I see you there and put you on the screen there. There is Jimmy La Rota. She became a YouTube member. Fantastic. Thank you, Jimmy. Let me see. Welcome. I guess give you some applause as well. Welcome to join us. I think I saw you over in the LinkedIn space as well. You joined our DLA vendors LinkedIn channel, which is a closed circuit channel that I launched at the beginning of this year as well, just trying to kind of build a family of LinkedIn professionals that are interacting over in the on the LinkedIn side of the coin too. Let's see. Let's see here. It says James says, "Congrats in having over 1.4 million in dibs contracts." Yeah, man. Hey, thank you. Yeah, I mean, our team is doing a fantastic job. Doing what we do best, man. I mean, it's been actually, it's just been it's kind of been a interesting year. I mean, coming out of the pandemic and my workforce, we lost a lot of folks, man. I remember, people getting sick in the office back then and stuff. And so, we're kind of still in a rebuilding phase as it relates to what the pandemic, what COVID did to all of us. I mean, the whole entire country is still kind of licking our wounds. But man, hey, I got some pretty good stars working in our office, and we have our internship that's robust and popping. Got a new intern that came in about 3 weeks ago, and she's hitting the ground running and learning all the ins and outs of federal contracting with the DLA. And so, I'm thinking 2024 is going to be a great year for us, by the way. But thank you for that, James. I appreciate it. Appreciate you, taking a look at things. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. So for 20, yeah, I know you're saying for 2023. Yeah, I know. So, because yeah, we're in our new fiscal year 2024. But yeah, thank you for that, James. Cool. Let's see. So I guess Jimmy, she's not at a position to let us know that she's in the building there. And okay, cool. So hey guys, yeah. So again, I need to have some comments, some stuff coming in here. What you got for me? What you got for me? While I'm waiting on some brigadier generals to join us today. And last but not least, I probably will just switch over to our brigadier general members only content, because I do have some things that I want to talk to those teammates about, and we may just get that done. Let's see here. James, all right, another comment from James. What you got there? He says, "What was the process you followed to get listed as a AbilityOne distributor?" Yeah, hey James, AbilityOne, they are basically by invite only, and so AbilityOne looks at a subset of information. They look on your past award history. They look on like how long you've been in federal contracting. They look at a lot of different nuances. And so we did get an invitation to take a look at the AbilityOne program as to be a distributor, and we were called to action. So that's how we got involved with AbilityOne. They reached out to us, and we sealed the deal. That's how we got involved. Cool, man. Thank you for that question. And yeah, all right, James. I see that James, man, you're putting a lot of interaction, man, a lot of engagement, man, and I really appreciate it. That's awesome, man. Looks like those are trophies that you got there, 3 trophies. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward again, James, man. Looking forward to your first awards, man. That'll be so cool to see. That you are, building it while you fly it as well, and staying true to the course and to the task of securing contracts with the DLA. Yeah, man. I know that there's a lot of, I get a lot of student clients reaching out to me via email, asking questions as it relates to, let's see, how should I say, SAM.gov and doing things on the services side. There's a lot of folks that say, hey, man, like your bottom feeders, you're doing products, services is where it's at. That's where you get the multi-million-dollar contracts. And I say, yeah, man, you get the multi-million-dollar contracts, but you get multi-million-dollar headaches as well. And, a lot of folks that have been in the service industry, and I've talked and interviewed a lot of folks that are, moving over into the DLA side. Some of the folks that have taken my MasterClasses, literally doing these one-on-ones with them, they tell me, hey, I've been, a federal contractor in the services side where they're doing staffing for the past like 15, 20 years. And I'm just done. They're like, look, I'm tired of the headaches. I'm interested in getting into some of the products, because I know that if you do it right, you can really, do some pretty cool things in support of federal contracting through products. So, again, I don't say one is better than the other. I just say that they're just two different ways to diversify your business. One, you're going to have a lot of headache, a lot of competition, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears are going after that business. And another, where, it won't take as much toll on you because, they're products, they're repeatable, consumable products. And the business model just made sense to me, to get involved in the product side of it and to find ways to kind of grow that beyond, beyond just our company. What I'm doing now in this YouTube space and the consulting space is really reaching out and getting to know folks and beginning to kind of build the business by networking. And that's something that I never did before. And so this is just, a great opportunity, great space to do this in, meeting folks like James. James is coming out of North Carolina there. Looks like we got Jamie, she says, hello, thanks for the info today. Okay, hey, Jamie. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. I said Jimmy before, and I think maybe it's Jamie. Hey, Jamie, and thanks for the comment. Can you let us know where you're located, your city and state? I believe, if I remember right, seeing you on LinkedIn, I think you're in Florida, but I can't really recall because I see so many people coming in and out of. Okay, yeah, you're great. So yeah, you're out to Florida. All right, great. I don't know if we got anybody else in the building here that's in Florida. Hey, Jimmy, if you have any questions, feel free to drop a question in the chat there, because I don't have any of my Brigadier General level members who have joined me over in StreamYard yet, and I don't have any of my Patreon members that I can see that are in the. As a matter of fact, just in case the new guy that joined Patreon the other day, let me check my email real quick, because maybe you sent me an email and you're not really familiar. You know what? I can't even. Wait a minute, 1 second here. Yeah, I can get into my Outlook. It's updating Outlook right quick. But anyway, yeah. So and Jimmy, hopefully I'm pronouncing am I pronouncing your name correctly? Just send me a little thumbs up if I'm saying your name correctly, by the way, Jimmy. And thanks again for the engagement that you're putting in there. All right. Outlook is almost updated. I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting something, because I'm not sure why I don't have any of my brigadier generals in the building today. I know the weather is fantastic, but hey, man, we gotta get the information. You gotta learn about the DLA today. Let's see. Do I have any? All right, it's telling me that I can't. Yeah, I think with the StreamYard running and all these different platforms running, it's not allowing me to access my for some reason it's not letting me get into Outlook. But here, let me see if I can switch into my computer to type better. Okay, cool. All right, Jimmy. Yeah. Hey guys, I'm here until some brigadier generals or some Patreon members come into the building. So feel free to drop me some questions in the chat. I'll hang out here. My day was for that today. And let's see here. Let me shut down my Outlook. No, Outlook is not even running here. So I don't know why I'm having some issues with my Microsoft Outlook not working. So for example, Patreon members, you have at your disposal. You can send me a message via Patreon. There's the community forum where you can just respond to where I put the StreamYard link, and you could just send a message, and it should populate on my screen right here for you. So feel free to drop a message in there if you're out there, Jesus, and you'll be able to access the StreamYard link there in order to get you over StreamYard. And for any of my Brigadier General level members, if you're in the building, feel free to go to the community forum on YouTube, click that link. That's for only Brigadier General level members, and it'll give you the StreamYard link. They'll take you over StreamYard, and I'll invite you into our StreamYard place section of the live stream today. Okay, you're located in South Florida, close to Fort Lauderdale. All right, cool. Well, Florida, yeah, Fort Lauderdale. That's pretty cool. I haven't spent a whole lot of time in Florida, but I know it's definitely a beautiful state to be in. So yeah, again, welcome, Jimmy. Welcome to the family. For sure. All right, so looks like we have 12 viewers in the building. Hey, today is really, guys, about your Q&A. So go ahead and drop me a comment. And for those of you who may be watching the content but have not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscription button, because then that will open up the chat to allow you to drop me any question that you may have. general questions that you may have as it relates to the DLA, AbilityOne Program, drop shipping, that whole business model behind it. Because I think there is a little bit of a misnomer as it relates to drop shipping. You know, when you think about like Amazon, Alibaba, eBay, Etsy, drop shipping, you always think that you're kind of like behind your computer and you don't have to touch products. And an order comes in through your web portal or your e-commerce site, and then you have links to your manufacturing base or distributors, and all you're doing is kind of just moving the information, like you're selling information and then having things be shipped. Well, the DLA isn't purely like that, because there is this requirement for military packaging, military labeling, and the way that you're shipping items and you're tracking the shipping of items. So there is a lot more. It's more convoluted than just a pure drop ship model. But the same skill set that you would have as a drop shipper applies to doing business with the DLA, right? And it all really depends on the national stock numbers that you're dealing with, the vendors that you're working with, that you in essence could design a pure drop ship model. So, and I say that because we do it. So we have vendors and manufacturers that we work with that do drop ship for us, because they handle a lot of the military packaging and labeling. But again, they partner with us because we have a hub zone distinction, which means we're able to go after contracts, not only just with the DLA, but even outside the DLA. We work with commercial clients. We work with other federal agencies where they're buying products using government purchasing cards, for example. So through our e-commerce platform, our partnership with HCCdistribution.com, we're able to market and promote. That catalog has over 40,000 products in the catalog, and they're all tactical products. So if you guys are looking for tactical goods, like anything related to military, Kevlar vest, or like different parts that go on weapons and things like that, you can find them on HCCdistribution.com as well. And we also have janitorial products. There are some consumer electronic products, so everything that we are doing has kind of a government focus. But so it's B2B, B2C, and B2G, so we're kind of capturing a lot of that as it relates to our activities from a drop ship business model. So there is a lot of ways that you can design your businesses as well. And of course, if you're interested in getting more content, getting more information, from a consulting perspective, you know how to reach me. You can reach me. You're right there. fed.contracting@nmsupply.com. Feel free to reach out to me. Let me know kind of what you're thinking about as it relates to drop shipping, and how you potentially can set up a drop ship business model within your company that might be able to service not only the DLA, but other federal agencies. And I'm sure I can provide a wealth of information and coaching along the way as that. All right, cool. Let's see. We got life in 60 seconds. We got, let me put that on the screen there. Thank you. Thank you for the good morning. Good morning to you as well. Oh, actually now it's afternoon. It's 12:07 on my end. So good afternoon, and welcome. I don't think I've ever seen this particular person that just commented. Hey, life in 60 seconds. Hey, do me a favor. Let me know your city and state where you reside, because we got 8 viewers in the building. You may be in the same city or state as someone else who's a faithful subscriber and watcher of my content. And this may be a way to potentially network. You guys just might be in the same city. You never know. And then I urge you to take a look at my to put a request in to join me over on LinkedIn. Hey, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop this in the chat too, my LinkedIn page. And I think it's good to network over in the LinkedIn space, because it's by invite only. I'm going to drop it in the chat right now. And what I do is, make sure you have a fairly, up-to-date LinkedIn profile, because I kind of take a look at, your accolades on LinkedIn and see if I think that you will be a value add to our DLA vendor, close our exclusive DLA vendor LinkedIn group. Because my plan is to invite manufacturers and things like that to be a part of it, where, we all began to kind of share information and to network and, find solutions to problems that you guys may be having in support of going after DLA contracts. So that's, I mean, it's very new. I launched the LinkedIn group back in January, and I think right now we have about 20 members in the group. So there isn't a whole lot of activity that's going into there. I just kind of want that group to grow more. So there's the link there. It says the link is giving you an error message. Okay, let me check that out. What? Well, Jamie, I think that you're already part of it. Is this? Uh, yeah. No, that link is correct. It says that you have to. Yes, that's the LinkedIn group there. I think you have to make sure you connect to you. You have to be logged into LinkedIn to get to it or something like that. But I think that's the link, right? Is that no? Jamie, you're already part of because I approved you the other day, so I know that you're part of our LinkedIn group there already. So that would be for Life in 60 Seconds or something of that nature. Yep, you're in the group. Let me see here. Yeah, she says, yes, I'm in the group. Yes, you are in the group, Jamie. Fantastic. Cool. You guys got any questions for me? What's going on? What's on your mind? What is on your mind? What can the DLA Guru help you with? As I kind of wait here. And guys, I think I'm probably going to give it probably another 10 more minutes. Because you guys are not really talking to me, and I just don't want to just be sitting here if I'm not answering any direct questions for you. And maybe my Brigadier General folks and my Patreon folks are not in need of reaching out to the DLA Guru today, which is fine by me. No hard feelings. All right. Okay, cool. We got 13 viewers in the building. Welcome for those new. Okay, hey, we got Jackie Gines from Nebraska. We got Nebraska in the building. All right. Yes. Nebraska's in the building. I'm not really sure. Do you consider Nebraska the Midwest? I'm not sure. I've been to Omaha once, and it did remind me of St. Louis, but I'm not sure. So, Jackie, do you consider yourself a member of the Midwest? I know you guys are considered West Coast. No, not at all. So, I wonder how you guys, as far as West Coast, Midwest, South, East, Northeast, how you guys how you classify Nebraska. Okay, cool. Let's see. We got a great question that's come in as well. All right, I'm just kind of shooting the breeze a little bit. And thank you for coming in. For those of you that are new, if we're having people dropping off and new people are looking at the content today, today is my bi-monthly live stream event that I basically hold bi-monthly, and it's for members only at the Brigadier General level who are able to get a StreamYard link that takes them over to StreamYard where you can cam up and mic up, and we can talk real life DLA solicitations, national stock numbers, anything that may be keeping you up at night, but it's at the closed circuit. It's not for the public space. So right now you're in the public space if you're seeing this for the first time. But in order to access me to talk real shop where I can, see you and hear you, you would have to go. There is a join button. Jackie, if you're there, there's a join button that's pinned to the top of this chat that allows you to join at the Brigadier General level. And then once you do that, you'll go over to my my community forum tab. You can find it on the homepage of the YouTube channel, and there should be a StreamYard link for the Brigadier General level eyes only for you to click that link, and it'll bring you over to StreamYard, where I've kind of cut into my day because I typically do it for about 2 hours, but I have had no one come in today. Which is the first time ever. I haven't had anyone come in. So, but I know I have Brigadier Generals that are part of the membership as well as Patreon members, but no one's in today. So if you would have a first seat with me if you're able to join the Brigadier General now. I mean, real time, and I can see you over there. We can talk shop for at least another hour or so. But with that said, I'm just putting out there for those who are new. So Jackie's question is, have you ever worked with companies like Shipwire for government packaging? No, Jackie, I have not worked with Shipwire for government packaging. I'm not exactly sure. I've heard the Shipwire company. I'm not sure if they specialize in that. I know Shipwire, from my understanding, they work more if you're in more of like a Shopify or eBay or kind of an Amazon like B2C, like business to consumer type of distribution model. Yeah, I would say find out if they can assist you with government or military. It's not just government, this would be military. So military is a little bit different requirements that the U.S. military has on receiving product shipments into their military depots. By the way, let's see here. Thank you for that question. Hopefully, I gave you a good answer there. All right, we have Jamie. She says, I have many questions, but I just got access to a lot of your content. Feel like many of the questions will be answered. Appreciate your time here today. Yeah, no problem, Jamie. Yeah, that's what is out there for. That content is there to empower and both inspire you. All right, and we got Jackie. She says, yes, she's in Ofut. Is it Offutt or Offutt? I never knew how to pronounce this particular Air Force base. I remember we had one contract years ago with Offutt. Yeah, I think it's Offutt Air Force Base. And I think they were buying like some fly traps or something. And I remember doing a small contract that we shipped some fly traps out there. So cool. So you said yes. So I imagine you guys consider yourself the Midwest. Okay, cool. Let's see here. We got Box Office has another comment here. I'm in the process of completing my JCP certification. My question is, which link to click in order to get the certificate part to submit with the DD application? Great question, Box Office. Hey, by the way, guess what, man? I also offer an EJCP certification program masterclass. So here, let me show you that. Let me show you that, man. And it's going to answer every single question that you have. I put blood, sweat, and tears in getting this done just for folks like you who may be looking. And so again, this is my website that I have where I host all of my master classes that are available for you to review and to purchase that will help to empower your company, hit the ground running and not skinning your knee and making mistakes and getting things done as it relates to your journey with the DLA. So specifically to your question, Box Office, I have an EJCP certification masterclass right here. I call it the 4 steps to fast track enhanced JCP certification for controlled technical documents. Literally, it's 4 steps that take you through start to finish where you can get certified within 14 days tops. You follow my steps exactly, Box Office. Step 1, 2, 3, 4. It will answer any and all questions you have as it relates to getting JCP certified. And it will also provide you with a methodology, a system of how you protect that technically controlled data, because we access technically controlled documents on a daily basis, working with our manufacturing base as we go after precision machining items. I'm very happy to hear your comment because I think that this area of the DLA is an emerging opportunity. COVID basically decimated the industrial base. The DLA reported last year, and I sat in on one of their industry collider days. They reported they had lost upwards of 30% of their industrial base as it relates to manufacturing base for precision machine parts, custom parts that the U.S. military requires in order for their land vehicles, their maritime vehicles, the air vehicles. They've lost 30% of their industrial base. And so folks like you and our company who are getting involved, getting JCP certified to get access to those tech drawings that you can then take to a manufacturers and to build those parts, to do re-engineering, remanufacturing, to get those parts that the warfighter needs. So it's fantastic that you're pursuing your JCP certification. Again, my masterclass is there to make sure that you are able to get it done without any questions. All right. So feel free to take a look at my site there. Here, I'll put it in the chat for you too as well. If you want to see what I got there, feel free to hit that link that'll take you over to and bookmark that page, because these 3 master classes, I think it's really all you're really going to need to get the ground running as a DLA vendor. And then everything else from there is build upon that framework that these master classes will present you as you embark on your DLA journey. So again, they're just kind of the foundation, the baseline, that'll give you a lot of the nuggets that I know you'll need in order to be successful in winning contracts. I don't think I've had any folks that have taken my master classes that have not won at least one contract. A lot of it has a lot to do with you. Once you get the information, what are you going to do with it? So you got to work it. You got to work it. You got to bid and bid often. So these masterclasses are for that. And I then box office put together my best overall value, which is the effective DLA training bundle that incorporates all 3 masterclasses in one for a discounted price. This is it's my highest selling masterclass that I have available to the general public. And it's action packed. Once you go on there, just register, take a look at the outline videos that are for free. That'll tell you exactly step by step what you get in each one of the modules. And then, you take a look at those videos before you want to commit to actually buying the course. And I don't think that you're going to, I don't think you're going to be dissatisfied with the results. I get great feedback on my master classes. So hopefully that answers your question. Box office, thanks again, man. And congratulations to you for pursuing JCP. That's awesome. Let's see here. True and Divine, join late. We'll rewatch the replay. Okay, cool. No problem, True and Divine. And let's see here. Let me put that up. Jackie, that's a great question. Out at Offutt. I said Offutt, but I know it's Offutt. It's Offutt Air Force Base. Let's see. Jackie says, would the DLA accept 3D printed parts? Jackie, that's a great question. And right now, the Department of Defense and the DLA are still kind of working that out. When I participated with the Industry Collider Day on September 11th of last year, I was actually out in Fort Belvoir, and I went to this Collider Day because it had everything to do with 3D printing and additive manufacturing. And I'm very, very interested. My background is in, engineering and manufacturing as well. I worked as an engineer for Boeing and as a defense contractor. And as an engineer, I worked not on the factory floor, but I worked in a lab that specialized in machining titanium and aluminum substructures as related to some of the military jets. And so I did that for quite some time, and really appreciate manufacturing, this from a pure manufacturing perspective. So I was really interested in finding out more about the DLA as related to 3D printed parts and additive manufacturing. And the net of it is, it's still a little too soon. I think they're still going through a lot of first article testing and trying to figure out which national stock numbers, which critical parts does the U.S. military want to trust in the quality of 3D printed parts. So, for example, imagine having a critical application item that's 3D printed that goes on an F-18 fighter jet, right? Super Hornet. And let's say that particular part, I should say, fails prematurely while in flight. We're talking, billions of dollars worth of technology, aircraft, and the life, and billions of dollars of lives, like that kind of thing. Because I hate to say that a life is not as expensive as an aircraft, but there's just a lot of risk that's related to those parts now. And I think the Department of Defense is kind of treading a little lightly, but the discussion is there, and I am definitely have it in my back hip pocket that additive manufacturing, 3D printing is going to be something that I think that the military understands the power of it. Because God forbid, we're ever attacked on our shores and companies like Boeing or the Northrop Grummans or the Raytheons get bombed to the Stone Ages. They're going to be looking at mom and pop machine shops that have 3D printing capabilities in order to produce parts that the U.S. military needs to fight back. So I think the U.S. military understands the need for 3D printing and additive manufacturing, but they're just trying to kind of figure out, from a quality control perspective of how they're going to, police those types of products or parts so that they don't provide disruption as with the warfighter. So hopefully the answer is very long-winded because I'm passionate about that question. So it's an awesome question that posted up, because that's something that my company we're very interested in being involved with that as well. So Jackie, what I recommend you do, since you seem to have some interest in that, I'm interested in learning more about you and your company. So in my chat, I put a link to my LinkedIn page. I highly recommend you scroll up there, click that link, join me over on LinkedIn, because I like to kind of take a look at your company, who you are, and to see if we can continue that dialogue, because you're out at Offutt Air Force Base. I'm not exactly sure your linkage to all that. But if you are, have some understanding of federal contracting, hey, we might be able to have a dialogue around that. So that's awesome. And Oh, okay, cool. So Jamie says, cool. She says, yeah, you're interested in additive manufacturing. Yeah, that's the new gold, in my opinion. This manufacturing in general, just everything has just kind of been pushed offshore. And America, in my opinion, just being a 70s baby and kind of seeing manufacturing and coming from that world. America, we make some fantastic products. We know how to make products, and we kind of lost that. A lot of that, a lot of those expertise and stuff have gone to NATO based countries like in Turkey and Germany and the UK, and even in India, and of course, China is just they're a powerhouse when it comes to manufacturing. But America, we still, that's our bread and butter as well. Every the power of a nation is based off their ability to manufacture products. It's just what it is. And so, Jamie, I'm glad that you have an interest in additive manufacturing, 3D printing as well. Yeah, we'll continue that dialogue. And hopefully you guys can bubble up and be part of my 100 new vendors that I plan on working with this year. I'm figuring out how we can partner and go after some large, military contracts together by way of the DLA or even outside the DLA. So the sky's the limit. It's all really, thoughts become things. It's really what you have in your mind and what you want to do. And if you have, partnership in mind. And me personally, my 20 years of doing business with the DLA, I wasn't really thinking a lot of partnership. I did try in my younger days to do it, but it was like, it just fell on deaf ears. It was hard to find folks. I never really understood the power of this medium of YouTube and meeting people, effectively across the nation who have a like mind and like interests. So I'm really, really excited about, where this content may take me, take my company, take you guys along with the journey. So hey, just engage with me. Get involved. Take my training programs. Let's talk the same language. Let's get this. Let's get it done. That's what I like to say. Let's get it done. So let's see. I have been talking for quite some time, about an hour and 26 minutes, and I have no brigadier generals in the building that have joined me on the StreamYard side. If you are, you'd see I have 11 concurrent viewers. If we have, folks like Addie that are out there, make sure you drop me a message in the chat there to let me know that you're in the building, so that we can meet over in our closed circuit Brigadier General members only forum today. And if you're over in the Patreon side, if Jesus or if Mike is out there, I'm not sure if Mike's there. I know those are two members in Patreon that have been engaging with me, and I don't see you guys in the building there at all. And let me hit refresh. Maybe that's what I need to do. No, I don't see any comments there. So yeah, but my links are, in the community forums on both platforms to StreamYard. So just go in the community forum, click the link, it bring you over into StreamYard, and I'll invite you guys in. All right. So I guess I could talk for another 5 minutes or so. You got any more questions, guys? Anything that you are that's hot and cooking? Anything that's on the presses that you'd like to talk to me a little bit about? I know some are joining a little late, True and Divine. Yeah, watch the replay. I'll have it out there. Well, actually, this replay will be strictly for my members only. Well, actually, you know what? No, this won't be members only because we're not talking members only stuff. This replay will be available via the YouTube channel as well. I'll probably do some editing to it and things like that just to make sure it's great for the YouTube, the public forum as well. But all right, any additional questions? Anything you guys got for the DLA Guru? I am definitely in the building right now, as you can see, live and in the flesh. I can feel one more question. We got 11 viewers in the building. Feel free to drop a view in there. If you guys have gotten some tremendous value from today's presentation, if you didn't know anything about AbilityOne, now you know a little bit about these agencies, or I should say federal requirements they're mandated to do business with agencies that specialize in providing employment to people who are severely handicapped or are visually impaired. And I'll also provide you with the conduit of how you can gain access to some of those products through wholesale pricing, working with yours truly, the DLA Guru, through hecdistribution.com. If you'd like all that content to get, you see it's scrolling there. I got ways that you can donate to the channel, because guys, this is not easy. And I really appreciate donations that come in. I've had a handful of donations that have come in through I've had some super chats that have come through. I've had a few donations that have come through Cash App and Venmo. And there was a young lady that actually bought me a coffee. So you see there, you can find me on Cash App at the DLA Guru, Venmo at the DLA Guru, and the Buy Me a Coffee app at the DLA Guru, where you guys can drop me a little something. Donations are definitely welcome, because it makes me feel that you guys appreciate all the love that I'm giving you guys out here in the space, trying to empower and inspire you. And you wouldn't believe, a Cash App that comes in, $5 here, that says, hey man, thank you for all you do. It puts a big smile on my face and gets me kind of cooking, like, okay, what more can I do? What more can I give? I want to grow this. I want to reach more people. So all that type of support, you wouldn't believe, it goes a long way for me. So I truly appreciate those that, you find value in my content, all the videos I put in my channel. I've been doing this for a little over a year, guys. And you got about 1,700 subscribers on the channel. So, the channel's growing, it's growing slowly, but it's a very niche market. It's a very niche market of folks that are coming into the awareness of selling products to the Defense Logistics Agency. So, hey, this is awesome. It's an awesome opportunity to get involved with someone like me, who have been doing this for 20 years. And I'm really having a great time meeting folks in this way. So, hey, I send some love, you send some love back, it all works out. And I think that, like I always call it, paying it forward, so I really appreciate any donations that you guys may have as well, because it just makes me feel good. All right, so cool. All right, we got one more question that's come in. Finally got the last question of the day. Let's see, it comes from James. Have you ever done deal registration with your vendors? And James, yes, I have done deal registration. I don't call it deal registration. I call it manufacturing license agreements. All right, and so we do that, as well as we try our best to position ourselves with vendors who won't cannibalize our market. And what I mean by that is, when you're going out to new vendors and trying to make sure that you're not teaching them as I'm teaching you guys about the DLA, because believe it or not, the DLA is still the best kept secret as it relates to products. So you'll find, as you guys are out there finding and sourcing products, that a lot of these vendors have never even heard of the DLA. And so you want to get to a position where you're having your vendors sign non-compete clauses. You want to do some NDAs if you can, to make sure you're protecting your market as best as possible as it relates to trying to partner with those vendors. Because I'll tell you guys, I have been burned in the past of working with companies that, let's say, supported John Deere, because I think I've talked about it in some of my other videos, but for those of you who are new to my content, it's blood sport out there, man. And I remember as a young lad doing some business with a distributor of John Deere products. They hadn't heard of the DLA. We got a bunch of DLA contracts early on, and they were like, man, who is this kid and who is this agency? And they found out, by me not understanding that there was no loyalty, because I didn't have anything contractually that obligated this company to work just with me, with my customer. They ended up stealing my customer from me. They ended up working directly with the DLA, and so I learned a valuable lesson that sometimes you shouldn't give all of the information away. We as DLA vendors, the way we add value in the supply chain as a value added reseller, we have information. We have access to information that our vendor base does not. You want to protect that information. You want to protect the competitive analysis. You want to protect pricing. You want to protect information as to who your customer is. I always tell student clients, never tell your vendors that you're doing business with the DLA. Always find a way to say, hey, look, we're doing business strictly with the U.S. military, and things of that nature. Just try to kind of cover your tracks as best you can, because that's how you protect your market. All right, James. So hopefully that answers your question as it relates to deal registrations and things like that. You may be related back to like we're authorized distributor of Dell. So years ago we ended up going after IT service products, and Dell is a stickler for deal registration. You got to let them know who's the customer, where they located, what's the contract officer's name, their phone number, their email address. And I'm like, man, these guys are, they're tripping. I'm not giving you all this information. So we kind of pulled away from doing deal registrations like with the companies like Dell, because the Dell is, they're in bed with the U.S. government and all this good stuff, man. And I think it's just kind of I like to call it a good old boy network, in my opinion. So I do kind of avoid deal registrations, if you're talking about those types of registrations, like with the Dell and the Hewlett Packards of the world. I avoid that. I don't think it's their business. If they're in the business of selling their products and we're a distributor, and that's my need to know. That's not your need to know. So I avoid that, James. As far as our company now, some companies are successful doing it. I'm not going to say that we figured it out all the way, but I know it just doesn't work for our business, man. Cool. Let's see here. I think Jane says, I do deal registration with Dell, Lexmark, and Xerox. Yeah. So I think that's what you were talking about. So that's just my perspective on that. And hey, there's always more than one way to skin the cat. In some ways, you don't get scratched. So with that said, thank you guys for joining me today. It was fantastic to have you in the building, to share a little bit of my knowledge, and for me to give to you guys in this way and to support you. Thanks again, Jamie, for joining up as a commander level member. Hopefully you'll be upgrading to the Brigadier General, because I'd love to cam up and mic up with you one day to really get an idea of who you are. Because keep in mind, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. So if I know you, I can tell the sound of your voice and know who you are and know your personality and know who your business is all about and the passion that you have for this. That just makes it a lot easier for me to work with you and to break bread with you as well. So you break bread with me, I break bread with you. And that's the way that kind of goes. But without any further ado, it is a beautiful Saturday. Hope you guys can get out there wherever you are in the United States. Enjoy our land. Enjoy this country. Dream big. Get the training. Get the coaching. Don't give up. Bid often. Bid. And, we'll all win. We'll win together. So I'll see you guys at the top. Take care.